Hi guys, Krein here, and I'm going to start this video off talking about Ernest Emerson's stealth knife. This was one of his pre-tac knives, which means it predates his tactical knives. There are only 5, perhaps 6 of these made. He created this design when he was working at Hughes in the aerospace industry as a design engineer. It has titanium liners, bolsters, a very unique pivot that I'm going to say is probably tie as well because it seems to be anodized. G10, or actually I think that's black micarta scales. Features no lanyard hole, no pocket clip, and a very aggressive tanto blade. This was Mr. Emerson's way of showing off his top-level knife-making skills. When the CQC-6 ran $475 as a table price, this knife was $1,000. He more or less felt at the time an effort that went into these blades was worth more than he ever thought that he could make back by selling them. So these were a very rare piece for him to make, and as far as I'm aware, only one has ever been sold through this website here, eBoss Haas. Emerson Stealth Prototype. And it says here that there were either 5 or 6 made. No one really knows for sure. And that it was meant to evoke the F-117 Stealth Fighter. So, like many Emerson fans, I've liked this design for a very long time, but it's stands to reason that I'll never see one of these in person, get to hold them, or much less own one. And even if one came up for sale, I don't imagine I could ever afford the price that it would come in at. So I did what I normally do, and I had a production Emerson knife pimped to suit my needs. Rather than making like a po' boy version or an exact, replica or something along those lines, I wanted it to be more of an homage to the Stealth. Take a lot of the same design cues. It'd be pretty obvious that it was the Stealth, but it's not going to be exactly the same. So you can see here it has titanium bolsters that are anodized, kind of a bluish purplish color, jeweling on the inside of the liner. Let me try to get this video quality up. There we go, it's looking a little bit better. So Ferrrk did the titanium liners and bolsters along with the black G10 scales and the titanium backspacer, as well as the jeweling on the inside. Krein did the regrind on the blade for me. Pete Gray made a thumb disc that was very much in the style seen on the actual Stealth, but more compatible with a production Emerson knife. This actually started life as a Roadhouse. I'd been kicking this idea around for maybe 2 or 3 years to have a Stealth knife pimped, and when I ran into Mr. Emerson, or saw Mr. Emerson in person at the Plaza Cutlery Show here in Hawaii in 2011, I mentioned the idea to him, and he thought it sounded very interesting. He said that he'd like to see that, and I mentioned that I planned on doing it with a CQC-7V, which was a pretty new knife at the time. He told me that the actual Stealth was bigger than what that knife would allow for, and suggested that I look at using a Roadhouse as the base model, and I of course, followed his advice. I sold off the CQC7V that I purchased and picked up a Roadhouse direct from EKI and started it on its pimping journey. So that's been a little over 2 years now since I picked up the Roadhouse to have this done. And it just got into my hands yesterday, just in time. So Pete Gray tapped it for this titanium pocket clip, and Nathawut created one of his titanium bowl pivots. Pete Gray anodized everything. ITSLaser did the laser engraving on the blade, the names of everyone who worked on it for me, along with my initials and the number in my collection. And the numbers were actually kind of assigned to the knives, not really in the order that they were made for me, but in the order that I thought to have them made, I guess. But those numbers really only matter to me anyways, so. This is a very sharp slicing blade. Try to show some detail here if I can. It'd be very interesting if someday somebody who actually has one of the real stealth knives were to make a video. Let us see that. That'd be pretty awesome. So I call this knife the Stealth Project knife. There is a problem with people who would have po' boy knives made, homages I guess, to say the CQC6, and then turn around and sell it either to an individual or a knife website, like a reseller, dealer I guess, and not disclose that that wasn't an actual custom Emerson. I think most Emerson collectors would be able to spot the fake, but maybe someone who wasn't really familiar with Emersons might get taken in. They might pay, you know, a high price thinking that they're getting an actual custom Emerson when really they're not. I try to avoid, I mean obviously I don't intend for this to leave my hands anyways, but I try to avoid that with all my knives by having them laser engraved in such a way that there's no mistake that, you know, they weren't made by Ernest Emerson. They were made by the people whose names are on the blade. It's very smooth, perfect blade centering. Actually, I don't know if I can get this on film or not, but look at the tolerances here. This very fine tip to the blade passes amazingly close to the tip of the backspacer. Like, I wouldn't even know how to measure that. Those are some impressive tolerances. Really a testament to Ferrrk's own abilities and skills to be able to reproduce something in such a way, to be able to put his own marks on it as well. Really, everyone who worked on this for me did an amazing job, and I appreciate all of their work. Locks up solidly. Thanks for watching this video.